I mean, oh my gosh, people said, oh, that would help me know where I should target my job development. Oh, the fundraiser was saying, oh, I didn't know all those people lived in that neighborhood. That foundation targets that neighborhood. Or, oh, if I knew that, I'd know where to go look for child care providers. I mean, and all of a sudden, everybody around the team realized how they could use a list that showed the zip codes where all our participants lived. And it was something as simple as, oh, that would be real useful. That said, you know, next time I think I'll go look up that zip code and put it in. Again, making data as useful as it can be. The fourth strategy, and I know we talked about this yesterday with the panel, and I heard this from organizations that we've worked with a lot, is to build systems for quality data. The whole key is making this just part of what you do, institutionalizing it in terms of what's expected, so that it's expected that in your job description that you are about results, finding as many ways in your job description to name the results that you're expected to be producing, not the activities that you're doing. A job description should talk about what's going to result from your work, much more than it talks about all the ways you have of doing it. And likewise, a job description should directly say that doing data is part of what you do. ED, all the way down. That being competent in using data is just an expectation of this job. And it's so important that it's also in your performance evaluation in terms of accuracy, timeliness, proficiency in using data. And again, I think David asked the question yesterday, finding ways that staff can take ownership of the quality of data and pushing that down as deep in the organization as you can. I know organizations that have regular staff meetings where they just review the last month's important results, and if you show up with a report that has holes in it, you don't look so good. That helps with data quality, but also having staff involved in auditing their own work and others' work increases the ownership and helps to institutionalize this kind of culture of quality data. And then lastly, this was sort of obvious, but investing wisely in technology. Now, I assume all of you have done that. You wouldn't be here, right? I don't know. Or that you're looking at investing wisely. But making sure that whatever system you're using is as flexible and responsive to changing needs as it can possibly be, because Lord knows we live in an era of changing needs for data. And making sure that your funders and your board understand that this is not a one-time purchase or a one-time investment, that this is an investment forever. And it's an investment not only in terms of money for hardware and software, but it's an investment in staff. It's an investment and a commitment to staff training, more staff training and more staff training, because that's the only way it's going to work. That's the only way staff are going to feel comfortable about using the information. And I think one of the themes of every organization that we ever talk to is that this does not work without two other things. One of them is just a commitment on the part of leadership, a commitment from the top and a commitment at the manager level. And the managers are so, so, so critical. And you know this, that the executive director, the CEO, has to walk the talk. And they have to walk the talk in terms of we're focused on results. We're focused on data as a tool to help us know our results. And yes, there are two kinds of data. There are quantitative and qualitative data. And yes, we're going to pay attention to the stories as well as the numbers, but that we're focused on results. But it's also walking the talk in terms of, and we're each going to have a basic proficiency in using this data, and that CEO or ED has to walk that talk. And then the other way that they have to walk that talk is in the environment that they create. The environment which is accountability, but which is not judgment. Accountability that is not so much blame. It's accountability with learning. We're going to be accountable, but we're going to be a learning organization. And that's a tone. That's a tone that gets set and that permeates the organization and I think is key to the culture, is that if people think this is going to be a tool for blame and judgment, it's not going to work. If people see that this data is going to be a tool for learning and better service, it has a chance of working. And that tone gets set at the top level and at the management level. And then a commitment to invest the resources that are needed, not only in, again, the technology, but in the people, the time it takes. I was so struck by 3 ETO administrators, or in the fact that in all of your organizations, you have someone who's driving this process. It will not work. I hear this over and over again. There wasn't anybody driving it, so it just kind of filtered out, just went away. Without someone driving it, providing energy and focus, it won't work. And that takes a commitment on the top leadership's part of resources for those people to have that full-time focus. The other key, which we've heard all along, is just patience. Patience, patience, patience. To know that it's very incremental, to know that it's going to take years, not months. So therefore, to set up success indicators along the way, to be able to say we've moved from this level to this level. We've got 4 more levels to go, but we've made progress, and to find ways to acknowledge the staff anxiety and fear and to celebrate their risk-taking in any way that you can, to celebrate progress, to say it's all good, we're making progress, is very, very key. So those are some things, and I'm 5 minutes late, but those are some things that we've heard from organizations in the field, and I want to say that this is just a little bit of insight from people outside this room, but now we want to capture what you know inside this room, and to kind of push the conversation even deeper. So we're going to have what we call a learning cafe conversation.